What is up, you guys? It is Breyonna, and today we're going to sit down and use the rest of the Mint Melt collection from e.l.f. Cosmetics. I did a video yesterday using a good chunk of the collection, and if you'd like to see that, I'll have it linked in the description box down below for you. But unfortunately, this collection is fairly large size. Like, there's 2 eyeshadow palettes, there's a few of these eyeshadow sticks, as well as a couple of glosses. And because of that, I wasn't able to use everything yesterday, so I thought we would sit down and use the rest of the collection today instead. Because honestly, I had a lot of fun using it yesterday. I just wasn't able to use everything, so I was like, why not just film another video using it? So that is what we are going to be doing. But before we jump into it though, if you haven't already, make sure you hit the subscribe button down below and also give this video a like. And if you'd like to check me out over on my Instagram page or my TikTok, it is at BreyonnaFaye as well. So as always, the first thing that I'm going to do is prime my eyelids, and I'm just going to use my Anastasia eye primer. You can use concealer or any other eye primer that you like. And I'm just going to put a little bit on the back of my hand, and I just realized I am starting to run out. Like, I have to really squeeze this tube. But I'm just going to apply about maybe like a corn kernel. And then I'm just going to take a fluffy brush, dip right in, and then stipple it all over my eyelid up to my brow. Anywhere that we are going to be applying eyeshadow today. So today we're going to mix things up and do things a little bit different. So what I'm going to do is take a sticky note, and I'm going to line it up on the outer edge of my eye as if I was doing wing liner. I personally like to use a sticky note because it's not as sticky as tape, and it also doesn't cause premature wrinkles, but at the same time it does give you a really crisp line. I look so silly right now. If somebody walked in, I would look so dumb. But what I'm going to do is take this No Budge eyeshadow stick, and this one is in the shade Melt With Me. It's kind of like a satin chocolatey brown. And I'm just going to make a really long wing with it. And kind of like feather it in just a little bit too. Kind of as if I was doing a wing liner, but like super thick. I'm only going to go about like a third of the way in again. Now I'm actually going to kind of like thicken it like in my crease almost, just a little bit. So I'm actually going to do more like that kind of a shape. And then I'm just going to take a little shader brush and start buffing it out. And this brush is from Luxie. It is a 209 large shader brush. And to blend it out and kind of like buff it, I'm just kind of doing like a stippling tapping motion. You don't want to do like a swiping or like a circular motion because it is a cream. And I'm just going to blend it up to my brow and kind of like bring it in. Just a little bit. And I'm just going to reapply just a little bit because I want to kind of have it a little bit darker. Again, when you are using like these types of products, you do want to take the less is more approach because it's a lot easier to build it up than to take away. I seriously cannot even take myself seriously with how dumb I look right now. Like, I feel like I'm gonna like fly away with these like post-it notes right here. But now we're gonna go in with the eyeshadow palette, and this one is called Chocolate Mint, and I'm just gonna go in with the darkest matte chocolatey shade right here. And again, I'm just gonna use that same brush, and then I'm just gonna be packing this shade right on top of that cream that we just applied. Ooh, she's pigmented. I mean, seriously, I don't think you'd have to build up this shade. And again, when I am applying this, I am pressing it. And I'm just going to go in with a second layer though, just to make sure that we have it like nice and rich. But ooh, that is a nice chocolate brown. I don't know why I was expecting it to almost be a little bit more on the sheer side, since the other mattes in the other palette, they're a little bit more of a buildable formula. So I was expecting that this one was going to be, but it definitely is not. Even if the edges aren't like perfectly blended right now, like don't worry about it, we can fix it in a minute. You just kind of want to get the color down in the shape as well. You know, I'm actually going to bring this in a little bit farther. Because otherwise I feel like my eyes are going to look kind of like funny and closed, and we do not want that. I'm going to probably bring it about a little over a third. You see what I mean though? Like, it looks nice and smooth. And then once you have that where you want, you can remove it. And as you can see, the line is crisp. So once you have that where you want it to be, now we're just going to go in with this like mid-tone brown shade right next to that chocolate. And this is actually a really cool brown. It's kind of like almost like a camel color, but it has like this little hint of green to it. It's a really unique color. And I'm just going to be taking it on this brush from ColourPop. It is an E25. It's just a little shader brush. But what I'm going to do is start packing it on right next to that chocolate brown. Almost as if I was applying it to the center of my lid. But dang, like, you know, for a one dip, like that's really pigmented. Again, like this palette is only $4, so it's just insane how much pigment it has for that. But I can't get over like how intense that is. Like you honestly wouldn't have to build up either of these shades if you didn't want to. I do want to see though what a second layer will do, but honestly, you definitely wouldn't have to if you didn't want to. Yeah, it kind of just makes it a little bit richer, but not by much. And how I'm blending this mid-tone into that deeper brown is that I'm just kind of doing like a tapping motion right between the two colors. I'm not doing a swiping motion because I don't want to disturb anything underneath. And I also do not want to pull up this chocolatey brown either. My voice cracks so bad right there. And I'm also just going to take whatever's left on my brush and I'm just going to start like feathering out this upper portion. Kind of doing these like little circular motions. Again, I'm not using any additional product on my brush. I just want to start softening the edge a little bit. I'm also going to kind of go over the chocolatey brown part too. So now we're going to add a pop of colors. So we're going to go in with this shimmery mint shade. So I'm just going to be taking it on this Morphe M421 and oh my gosh, that is beautiful. Wow. For a one dip and one application, that is pigmented and so shimmery. Again, this palette is only $4. Like the quality is just amazing. And I am going to kind of bring it up into my crease. I'm trying to do like a kind of like 3-chunk type of look right here. So I'm going to bring it up just a little bit. And then I'm going to start feathering it into that mid-tone brown that we just used. I was expecting it to be really good because of the other palette that we used yesterday, but it just literally blew my mind. I mean, like, look at that. It's just so reflective. So I'm just going to take my finger and kind of like tap out the edge between the shimmer shade and then that camel brown. Just to make sure we don't have any chunkiness. And then I'm just going to go in with that brush that we applied that mid-tone brown with and kind of like reapply it and feather out that shimmer shade even more. And I'm not using any additional product either. I'm just using whatever's left on the brush. And then since I'm nosy, I'm just going to go in with a little bit more of that mint. Oh yeah. Now this is the star of the show out of the palette. Like don't get me wrong, the other two shades that we used are beautiful, but this is like on a whole other level. And to help me blend out these edges right here, what I'm going to do is take a clean little fluffy blending brush. This is a Morphe M507. And again, with nothing on it, I'm just doing these little circular motions right on the edge. Just to help soften everything up. Okay, I am living for the mint chocolate chip vibes that we have going on. Like, it is such a fun look. But off camera though, I am gonna kind of like clean things up a little bit. I'm going to apply like liner, lashes, my complexion products, you know, all of that good stuff. And then afterwards, I'll be right back to finish up the look. So here's I'm at right now after doing that all off camera, and I gotta say, I did like this chocolatey lip type of moment, and I just think it pairs so beautifully with the eye look. And also, I don't think I've ever worn a lip color like this before, and I don't know why, because I think it looks really cool. But now we're gonna start working on the lower lash line, and what I'm going to do is go in with the two matte shades that we used earlier and do like a 1-to-1 ratio. The reason I'm mixing them is because I don't want the lower lash line to be like super dark, because I don't know, like I think sometimes a really dark lower lash line can kind of, you know, overpower the top portion of the eye look. So I'm just going to take this little mixture on this teeny tiny little shading brush from Morphe. This is a M508. And I'm just going to run it slightly right underneath. And I'm not going to smoke it down too far either, because we did do this like winged out little situation, and sometimes I feel like if the lower lash line gets a little bit too blown out, it can kind of look a little funny next to that winged out little thing. I don't know how to explain it, but sometimes it like dips down and then kind of looks funny with it blown out and then this harsh line right here. So we're just going to play it safe, and I'm just going to do a second layer. And I'm also going to kind of connect it with this outer portion just a little bit. And then I'm just going to take that clean fluffy brush that we used earlier and run it right underneath just to make sure we don't have any harsh lines. And when you're doing this, you kind of want to make like a fish face, like the, and then look downwards. Makes it so much easier. So now we're going to be doing my absolute favorite part, which is the inner corner highlight, and we're going to go in with this kind of like taupey shimmery shade right next to that mint one. So I swatched it earlier, and it actually looks like it's going to be a little bit more icy than it looks in the pan, so I'm kind of hoping that it does that. But I'm just going to be taking it on this Anastasia A14 little pencil brush, and I'm going to pack it like super heavy in my inner corner. Oh yeah, like it is a really icy shade. And I kind of like this eye boogie situation. Oh, I hate when that happens. But again, like it is super icy. It definitely does not look like it does in the pan. Because in the pan, it almost has like a taupey, like sand kind of vibe to it. But when applied, it is definitely like an icy champagne. And I'm just going to go in with a second layer because I want this inner corner extremely bright and blinding. Say that 3 times fast. But I feel like it's just going to pair really nice to like the shape that we have going on. And really make the eyes pop. And I'm also going to bring it a little bit underneath the inner tear duct. Oh yeah, now she's blinding. Again, the shimmers in this palette are beautiful, just like the other one was. So since we have one No Budge eyeshadow stick I haven't used yet, I thought we would use it in the waterline. And this one is in the shade Ice Creme. And this one's kind of like a sandy taupe color. Very similar to the color that we used in the inner corner. It's also the most shimmery No Budge shadow stick out of this collection. I mean, she's cute, but I wish it was just a little bit lighter. Again, like this pencil is super, super creamy and it literally like glides on. And then the last item that we are going to be using today is this Plumping Lip Gloss. And this one is in this shade A Hint of Mint. And honestly, it's just a clear gloss with like a plumping effect to it. Again, I really like how these smell. Like they smell like a peppermint patty, like dead on. And also the applicator is really nice. It's kind of like one of those flat ones. And I'm just going to apply just a little bit in the center. I don't want like too much gloss. Just like a hint of gloss. Oh yeah, that is pretty. It's also not sticky or tacky either. Like if you're like me and you normally don't like gloss but you want to experiment with it, you would really like this formula. Especially if you want to get like a plumping gloss. Because some plumping glosses, they don't work, but these ones actually work. Now, I don't know about you guys, but this chocolate mint little vibe that we have going on is making me hungry. Like, I'm gonna have to go get a snack after doing this. But again, like, I think this just turned out really pretty. I love the colors that we used, and overall the products have been a really great quality. But let's talk about everything because I do want to give you guys all the nitty-gritty details because we did use a lot of different things today. And first of all, let's talk about the eyeshadow palette because you guys know I am eyeshadow palette obsessed. Again, the packaging is really cute, but let's talk about the formula. And the mattes in here are very pigmented to the point you don't even have to build them up if you don't want to. Like, one layer is definitely sufficient. And if you want to do 2 layers, like, it's fine, but it's really not necessary. But I will say, if you are looking at both of the eyeshadow palettes in this collection, you know, the Mint to Be as well as the Chocolate Mint, which is this one, this palette is way more pigmented. So if you don't like to fuss with your shadows and you don't like to build them up, you're going to be really happy with the matte formula of this one. Whereas, unfortunately, the Mint to Be palette is definitely way more on the buildable side, but, you know, the shades are a little bit different of a vibe too, so just keep that in mind. And I will say though too, if you are a beginner, I don't think you're going to struggle with the mattes being super pigmented in this one either, because again, they blend out like butter. As for the shimmer formula, oh my gosh, like seriously, these palettes alone are worth getting just for the shimmer formula alone. Like, they are just so rich and pigmented, they have so much shine and sparkle to them, and they just have this beautiful creamy texture. Like, literally, they are amazing. As for the No Budge eyeshadow sticks that we used today, seriously, these are such an underrated product from e.l.f. I really hope that they launch more colors of them because I cannot get enough. Because they are just so creamy, they blend out like butter, and if you apply them in the waterline, they literally last all day and do not budge. Yesterday I had this mint colored one in my waterline. It is called Mint For You, and I had it on for like 10 hours, and it did not slip or slide or even like pool in my inner corner. Like, it literally stayed put until I took it off. That's why I hope that e.l.f. does more shades of these, because I could see these being like a cult favorite, like something that everybody has in their collection because the formula is just so bomb. And again, like, this is just a really versatile product. You can use it as a cream eyeshadow, you know, all over the lid and blend it out. You can use it as an eyeshadow base, inner corner highlight, on the waterline, and even like a liner on the top. Like, the possibilities with this are literally endless. And then the last product that we used today out of the collection was this Plumping Lip Gloss, and this one is in this shade A Hint of Mint. Again, this is just a clear gloss, so it's nothing like revolutionary, but I will say the plumping effect you get with this is so amazing. Like, I'm one of those people, I really don't normally like plumping lip glosses because I'm afraid of them really making my sensitive skin irritated, or they just have like this minty feel and they don't really do all that much. Whereas this one, I actually notice a difference, but at the same time, it doesn't give me like, you know, issues with my lips or my skin. So if you're looking to get a plumping lip gloss, you don't know where to start, and you want something clear that can go with any lip color, this one is definitely worth looking into. So when it comes down to it, would I recommend these products to you guys? And honestly, I cannot get enough of this collection. Like, it is definitely worth checking out. Again, all the products worked amazing and they're super high quality. And if you're looking for products, you know, to spice up your collection from the drugstore, or if you're looking to try out the color mint and you don't know where to start, this collection is literally perfect for you. And I know some of you guys are curious as to which eyeshadow palette I prefer more out of the collection, and truthfully, I prefer the chocolate mint. I know it's really weird for me because I do prefer my colorful shades over my neutrals, so I bet some of you guys are like, girl, what? But again, like, I just think that this palette is so special. The mattes in here are so pigmented and the shimmers in here are beautiful on the eyes. Again, there is nothing wrong with the mint to be, it's just a little bit more on the buildable side, and you kind of have to, you know, really build up the shades if you want them to be like they are in the pan. But again, like, it's not a bad palette, I just prefer this one a little bit more. And if you're on the fence as to which one to get, it just kind of depends on what you're looking for to add to your collection. You know, if you wear a lot more neutral shades and you just want like a hint of color, chocolate mint is definitely going to be something that I think you're going to like a little bit more. But if you want something different and spicy and just something really unique, you know, mint to be is just a really fun color story. Because again, it's like a minty palette, you get some really cool and unique shades in here, and overall it's just a really cute little vibe. But yeah, so in the comments down below, let me know what you think about this look, and also let me know if you're going to be picking up any of the products from this collection. Honestly, after filming this, I might go place an order for the rest of the collection because I am seriously so obsessed with it. But before you go though, if you haven't already, make sure you hit the subscribe button down below and also give this video a like. And if you'd like to check me out over on my Instagram page or my TikTok, it is at Breyonna as well. And I'll talk to you guys later. Bye!